Now, many of you will know that yesterday, or as per yesterday delivery report, Nio sold over 16,600, whilst ONVO sold over 4,300 deliveries for the month of October, which with ONVO it was a pretty good, decent figure. It made a lot of the new investors to be really excited. I mean, with also this over 16,600. After that report, or immediately after the report, it was not good. But once the Nio CEO highlighted as to why the Nio deliveries were lower than that of previous months, a lot of the investors started understanding to say that okay, it's because Nio had to cut some of the incentives to make sure that they improve on gross margins, which is something that, of course, it was amazing to hear that. Now, the reason why I'm talking once again or revisiting the deliveries of ONVO and Nio, it's well, Nio CEO during the EP Club session, he highlighted some of the key things when I look into ONVO, and he said next year in March, ONVO is looking at delivering 20,000 vehicles on a single month, which is something that we look forward to, something that is bullish and incredible. I mean, he said the conversion rate at this very moment it's 7 to 8%. So those that test drive every week the ONVO car, 7 to 8% of all the people that are test driving the ONVO cars, they are getting, or they are placing an order, which is something that is good for ONVO, because people are really buying, or they are not just seeing this car, but they are also buying and knowing very well that they will get their deliveries next year. They continue to buy because they see the kind of a good quality ONVO is. They see the kind of features that you find onto this ONVO car, and the fact that it supports battery swapping, it is the cherry on top that makes the conversion rate to be a bit better, or much better, which is absolutely amazing, which is incredible. You will know that Deutsche Bank came and said that they are seeing, in fact, they believe that ONVO scoped 15,000 orders this month, which is something that is pretty exciting. And with that, we know that those 15,000 orders we received, or ONVO received this year, they are not going to even deliver those vehicles this year. It will be sometime next year, and sometime next year, maybe, I don't know, in quarter two, because we know that as it stands, these 4,000 or over 4,300 we saw yesterday, this is the most that ONVO has delivered. And I can tell you now, ONVO it's not sitting with orders of less than 80,000. I don't think so, which therefore means the first 4 to 6 months in ONVO will be delivering the orders which they captured this year, which this is massive, this is bullish, because with that in mind, you and me can agree that we need to brace ourselves for what's coming, especially on the ONVO L60. I mean, there are people that are starting to think that ONVO might be stealing some of the ES6 orders, which, if that's the case, I suppose it's still good, because at the end of the day, the money still comes back to Nio. But I tell you, if you have money, they put ONVO L60, they put Nio ES6. I tell you, personally, I'm going to buy a Nio car. I'm going for a Nio ES6 because, I mean, Nio, it's a premium brand, man. ONVO on the other side is just a family car, sort of like a brand, which is not as premium as Nio, meaning that even on the upgrades, on the features that Nio will launch, there are some features that will remain with Nio and not go to ONVO, which will restrict sort of like a technology from Nio to ONVO, which it is for that reason that I will always stick with the Nio. But Nio, let's face it, it's not that cheap, which is why a lot of people that maybe in the past were really maybe stretching to buy Nio cars, they will just go and buy the ONVO L60s right now, which is still good, right? I mean, Nio, it's a company that is still doing very well. I mean, if there's something that we need to just share with Nio, or that we need to note about Nio, is that Nio is a company that is doing very well, because already Nio is currently sitting at a year-to-date deliveries of 170,000, which has surpassed the 161,000 we saw last year for the full year, which shows you that Nio is a company that continues seeing growth, which shows you that we need to brace ourselves for what's coming. And it is for this reason that I continue buying Nio, increasing my holdings, because I know that Nio is a company that continues showing growth. Those that are saying that we are going to bankruptcy, they have to think again, because this is a company which is expected to do very well. Now, back onto this EP session of where the Nio CEO was discussing ONVO. He said there are a couple of mistakes that Nio did in the past, and they will make sure that they don't repeat those same mistakes with ONVO. And I think with Nio, one thing that he also clarified is that the demand for Nio was not as good as the demand where they are seeing onto ONVO, which is why with ONVO they will be able to scale production fast, because they see the demand that is coming with the ONVO L60. I mean, he said a lot of people will say Nio has got a production capacity issue, but he just highlighted that that was never the case with Nio. Nio just had the problem with Nio. It was the sales was not that much that could push them to increase the production, and also the insufficient swapping stations. This is what led in Nio not selling that much, which, yeah, I think now it's clear as to why Nio was not able to do that well. The sales were not there, meaning that demand was not that much, which is why Nio was selling or performing the way they were at that time, which with ONVO they are saying, or the Nio CEO is saying, they'll never repeat that mistake, because they see the demand right now onto ONVO. They are going to make sure that they quickly ramp up the production capacity to cater for this demand, which is why, you know, after 3 months, which is in December, they are targeting for their production capacity to be over 10,000, whilst in the March next year the production capacity will be around 20,000, which this is bullish, this is massive. I mean, previously you will know that for, I think if I remember very well, the ET5, it took Nio 9 months to start delivering the ET5 after the official unveiling of the model, which is something that was not good, because it made a lot of the consumers who had placed their orders to end up cancelling their orders, because they were waiting for too long until they get their hands onto the ET5. Same goes to the ET7. ET7 was worse because it took a year for Nio to start selling and delivering that car, which again it led into quite a number of consumers cancelling their orders because they could not wait any longer. And seeing Nio right now with ONVO quickly ramping up the production, it shows us that they've learned a lesson from Nio, and they are not going to continue repeating the same mistake, which is bullish, which is massive. And it makes me to think about the kind of deliveries we'll be seeing just ONVO delivering or generating on a monthly basis this time next year. I mean, I cannot wait, man. I think we need to brace ourselves for what's coming, because Nio is different, or it's very much different from the Nio you knew a couple of years ago. This one, the Nio I seeing now, it's quite experienced. It knows what to do, when to do, which is something that is pretty exciting. So I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates, man. Tell me what you think about these comments made by the Nio CEO. I think they are bullish, they are fine, and they just make me to want to load the boat, because if in March next year ONVO will be selling over 20,000, I mean, you and me can agree that it's lights out, because worst case scenario, if Nio is still able to deliver the kind of deliveries they are delivering or generating now, we are going to see, we could easily see 40,000 deliveries around March from Nio and ONVO, which is bullish, which is massive, and it just makes me want to say that blue sky is coming. So tell me what you think about this. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least to get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. That's all from me, and God bless you all.